Hey there! Welcome to the Region of Boom. I am your host, CJ Emerson. Today is September 16th. We're in week 2 of football season, and we are in the home stretch for baseball. It is an exciting time to be a Seattle sports fan. Let's catch you up on this week's news. So, what's our top story of the week? It's the Pac-12. They made their first big effort to rebuild last week, as 4 new teams have recently been welcomed into the conference. Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, and Boise State will be brought in as expansion teams, and they're expected to begin competition against the existing WSU and Oregon State by the summer of 2026. Now, this has to be a breath of relief for Cougars and Beaver fans out there, as their fate of their school's athletics departments have been in limbo ever since they were left behind following last year's mass exodus from the conference. For anyone rooting for the revival of the Pac-12, this expansion is certainly a cause for celebration. However, it's important to note that all 4 of these new teams will be departing Mountain West, which is notable for a multitude of reasons. For one, it's been argued that the Pac-12's initial hesitation to invite Mountain West schools to their conference was the deciding factor for the teams that left. So this acts as a full circle moment in a way. And secondly, what's going to happen to Mountain West itself? The Pac-12 still needs 2 more schools to comply with NCAA regulations, so they'll likely be looking at teams within the Mountain West, like Utah State, San Jose State, the Universities of Nevada, and New Mexico, as potentially up for grabs. We might have a situation where, just like what the Big Ten did to them, the colleges leading the Pac-12 might have to carve out a smaller conference in order to expand their own. And that would be a bummer, but given the current chaos we're all witnessing across the college football landscape, I would bet on it happening. Also worth noting, both the Washington and Oregon colleges faced off in rival matchups. The Cougars took the Apple Cup from the Huskies this year, winning 24-19, while the Ducks demolished Oregon State in a non-conference game on Saturday, 49-14. Prepare for their upcoming season, the Kraken are taking bets on their veteran players. The team just signed their number 6 defenseman, Adam Larsson, to a 4-year, $21 million extension last Tuesday. Larsson has been a reliable starter for the Kraken since they drafted him from the Oilers in their first inaugural season. He only missed 1 game last season and contributed 18 points to the team, 4 goals, 14 assists. He'll soon join his teammates on the ice when the Kraken plays their first preseason game at home against the Flames September 22nd. Is a new, exciting rush game on the horizon for the Seattle Seahawks? If you check the comments made by the team's number 14 wide receiver, DK Metcalf, you could get that impression. He told the press about his first interactions with former Huskies offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb and how Grubb's working to bring in a new style of playmaking.
The first offensive meeting that we had with, all right, guys, I know we've had explosive plays, but, we're going to run the ball. So I kind of got mad real quick, but, I think the foundation of running the ball first is going to open up everything else for me, Jax, Locke, Noah, everybody else in the receiver room and the tight end room.
Was that really the first thing you said to you?
Yeah.
We saw more of Grubb's offense in action yesterday when they narrowly won in overtime against the Patriots, 23-20. Ironically, it was the passing game that was on point this week, as Geno Smith made 30 free tosses, going over 327 yards, including a wide-open touchdown in the first half. The team now leads the NFC West, and they'll soon return home to play the Dolphins September 22nd. For our final story of the day, the Seattle Storm should have had an easy week of games, but instead, they've been dealing with some off-the-court bad news ahead of a big rival matchup. On Wednesday, for example, Jewel Lloyd lost her record for most points scored in a single season to Aja Wilson of the Aces. Wilson scored her 941st point in a game against the Fever, beating out Lloyd's 939th. That's a bummer, but given the fierce competitiveness and superstar building currently going on in the league, it's not a surprise either. What was a surprise, however, was an internet firestorm lit by Caitlin Clark fans surrounding the Storm's social media accounts. What should have been a usual post on X, highlighting the recent stats of number 13 center Ezi Magbegor, became derailed when fans noticed an image of Magbegor blocking a shot from Fever star Caitlin Clark in the design, and that's usually fair game. Problem is, according to C. Clark report, so take it with a grain of salt, the shot from the image was actually an uncalled foul of Magbegor hitting Clark in the face, which they say was conspicuously edited out of the image using AI. Now, Fever fans have been quick to judge this post as unfair, inflammatory clickbait. Their words, not mine. Whether that's accurate is for you to decide, but hopefully this snafu doesn't take up much of the Storm's actual attention. The team's preparing for a high-stakes matchup against the Aces, as the two teams have continually been jostling for the 4th seed in the league. The game will happen tomorrow at home, 7 p.m. Best tune in because I know I'll be watching. And that's all the news we have here at the region of Boom. I've been your host, CJ Emerson. Thank you so much for tuning in to our second ever episode. We really appreciate anyone tuning in. We're going to keep bringing weekly episodes every Monday morning here on Spotify and YouTube Music, so please stay tuned. We got a lot of exciting things ahead. Have the best day, have an even better game day, and I'll see you around. Bye now.